So we are all still recovering from the pain, the absolute pain that was inflicted on us by the most recent episode of this popular show. If you have a healthy fear or plan for the apocalypse, you're still fiending for Pedro Pascal, or you're a big-time Ron Swanson fan, then you need to park and prepare to get wrecked emotionally as you stay tuned to this episode. What it do, Podvengers? Welcome back to another episode of Fantastic Four. It's your boy, Blacksby, and today I have with me Luis and Graham. Everyone is just itching to get into our discussion on the third episode of HBO's The Last of Us. Our reactions for this show, we are just so hyped and excited, man. This is a good show. As you can tell, we've talked about this 2 times now. We're going to talk about it every week that this show comes out. But before we do that, we need y'all to Hulk smash that subscribe button so you do not miss out on the most authentic fan-run content on the web. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. Just as last time, man, we have nothing bad to say. It's hard. I'm having more trouble finding something wrong with this show, you know. Like we said before, it still adheres to the game with its own touch, with its own story time, with its own story elements. And I can't find anything wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with this show. I mean,
No, I agree 100% with you. I think it's we touched on it. What was it last week? I think whenever we talked about episode 2, I think, or maybe it was episode 1, about how I like the fact that they're really committing to the fact that it is an adaptation, right? That means that it is based on the game, but that doesn't mean it's going to follow exactly beat by beat every story element that was told in the game. Like, for example, this episode in the game, for all you homophobic people out there, it is inferred that Bill is gay in the game. It says that he has a partner, and he says it multiple times. But that's all we get.
This is a total of like 2 or 3 times, right, in the game?
Yeah. All Bill says is that he was my partner, to Joel. That's all he says. And we don't really see Frank, right?
We don't.
So the fact that we get a whole episode about how they met, their love, their life, and then their ultimate, spoiler alert, right? Their sad and beautiful end. You know, I think that's exactly what an adaptation should do. And Neil Druckmann actually said that in the behind the episode at the end of this week's episode. He said that one of the conversations that they had when developing the show was if it took away from the only time that he would veer from the original source material, he said, was if an idea was better than what the game had already presented. And the fact that Neil Druckmann was like, oh yeah, this episode and this story with Bill and Frank is amazing, and this is exactly what we want, I think is exactly what an adaptation should do, is not only tell the story and propel it dramatically, you know, hit the dramatic beats and that propel the story forward, but it elaborates on aspects that the original source material did not, right? It took a character that people loved, like Bill, and it expanded on it and introduced us to Frank, who we knew absolutely nothing about, and it humanized Bill, and it grounded him, and it gave him a backstory and a love life, and it told us a beautiful story that, while detached from the storyline that is The Last of Us, was still very much intertwined in that world. And we get Joel and we get Tess, and we don't ever forget exactly what's happening on in the background. But I don't know, man. I thought it was beautiful and moving and evocative and just it was just TV storytelling at its finest, right? It was beautifully written, beautifully acted. Murray Bartlett and Nick Offerman were amazing. They were lights out. They were acting their asses off.
I didn't even know Murray was Australian, right? He's Australian.
He's Australian, yeah.
Dude, he started talking in the after the episode. I was like, hey, hold on, bro. Wait a minute.
Is this the
the same guy? Is this the same dude? Is this the same you? Are you serious? Yeah. I was like, bro,
are you serious?
So, I mean, it was a good episode all around, and like, I feel like it really did tackle, masculinity a lot too. I think for the casual viewer, if they saw this episode without knowing anything about the game, they would have seen Bill, Nick Offerman, Ron Swanson's character. They would have seen him being like, oh, this is a macho guy. He's probably got a wife in there. He's trying to protect, blah, 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 stereotypical shit. Because he's like he's a prepper. He's got all the apocalypse stuff. He's got the guns. He's got the surveillance feed. He's got the fence, all that. So I'm like, oh, this is a very, manly man type dude. In walks Frank. If you're like I said, if you're watching it at face value, you won't know what's going on until it actually gets to going on. But Frank and Bill, obviously, they build their relationship off of Frank falling into the hole. And I was like, dude, this is a great way to tell a story. Like you said, with holding to the adaptation, the original, the source material, but fleshing out these characters in a way that we haven't seen before, that we didn't see in the game. And I love what they're doing with this. So for all you homophobic people, all you hypermasculinity team people, like, bro, piss off. Thank you, Graham. Talk to him. Piss off. Yeah. Piss off, bro. I'm not even British.
Piss off, bro.
I'm not British.
I didn't know anything about Bill, and I've been hearing everyone hype it up. They're like, well, wait till we get to see Bill in this show. Like, wait for that. Like, it's going to be pretty changing. Like, change the way you view things. A bunch of people that had watched the show beforehand, before like it was released or whatever, but like episode 3 is going to like test how people think. It's going to be such a it's going to diverge from, like I said, the main story.
Yeah, early reviews also said this was the best episode. Which, yeah,
I mean,
and it was
too, but to me, this is the best out of telling a story. This was the best episode so far.
Yeah,
for sure,
the way they intertwine, because like I said, I have not played the game, so like I said, I've known little bits and pieces about it.
Yeah,
see clips kind of, but I didn't know how interconnected Joel and Tess would be, and then seeing, I guess forward it to the end, but when him and Ellie come in and they kind of get prepared, like they prep themselves to leave, I was like, this is an amazing way to tie this loosely, almost like an offshoot story, and wrapping it all into the main story, and how it all tied together was it was awesome.
I'm gonna add to that too.
Amazing.
Oh yeah, he's great. He's phenomenal. Him and Murray, I like their chemistry.
Yeah,
me too. That's the only thing. I've only seen him in Parks and Rec, so I was like, "Whoa,
I was kind of going in thinking like, holy shit, I'm not going to be able to take him serious." And then like it was wow.
Wow. Let me take this moment to recommend a great show from a couple of years ago that I really loved. It's called Devs. I don't know if you guys have watched it.
Devs.
It's on Hulu. It's Alex Garland joint. You know Alex Garland. He directed Men. He directed Annihilation, Ex Machina. Used to be a novelist before he became a filmmaker.
Ex Machina is fucking amazing.
Yeah, so he made a show, and it's called Devs, and it's on HBO Max, and it's fantastic. And Nick Offerman is in it, and he is amazing. And if you watch Devs, then you'll be like, oh, I get it. Like he is not just Ron Swanson. He's not just the guy from Parks and Rec who can do comedy. Like this guy is a phenomenal actor in this show.
But that just shows the. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, and then you watch that, and then you watch this episode, and you're like, yeah, duh, of course, Nick Offerman's amazing.
Yeah. You just see the range of these actors in this show. Like we've already seen Pedro's range across everything, and then like Graham and I, we haven't seen Nick Offerman outside of Parks and Rec. So all I have in my mind, is Ron Swanson
is a funny goober.
Exactly. Yeah. Then we come to this more serious, serious but also more emotional role. He's pouring his heart out to Frank and everything, and like their story throughout the hour and a half or however long this episode was is just beautiful. I'm like, dude, this he's got the acting chops and I think that's one thing that this show did really well was pick up genuinely good actors.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's been an issue with a lot of the projects that have come out in recent years. They have good concepts, good scripts, and everything. They have people who just can't act to save their life. I'm like, bro, go home.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that I think something that The Last of Us has done very well from beginning to end, from conception to now, is the fact that they just got really talented, really competent people to be a part of the project. Like Craig Mazin made Chernobyl, and after that, HBO was like, we know you can write good TV. They're like, we know you've got the chops to write good TV. And then not only they didn't stop there. They're like, we're going to get Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog involved. Right. And so boom, right there, you already know that the script is going to be great. The story is going to be great, and the adaptation is going to be great. And
Just
then
who
they
are we
have
gonna
Pedro
get?
Pascal, Bella Ramsey, the I forget. I'm so sorry. The actress who plays Tess, Nick Offerman,
Anna
Murray Bartlett.
Torv, Anna
Yeah,
Torv.
exactly. All these incredibly talented performers, and it's just like from bottom, from top to bottom, the trickle down effect of just competent, talented people who take the work seriously is always going to pay dividends, right? It doesn't matter, and talent should always come first. Talent plus passion, equals good stuff. Success, exactly, for the most part.
House of the Dragon.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. So that's how it. I don't know, man. I'm really pleased with what they're doing.
Me too, man. Honestly,
do y'all think we'll kind of see these weird, not weird, but like sort of flashbacky kind of episodes where we'll see what Joel's doing?
I'm glad
in that 20 years, or 20 years, because I love seeing Tess back. Like, and I want to see more of Tess. I want to see what they were doing, how they went from he's at the dinner and he's like, we're good people. All this, I want to know how he went from saying he's good people to like him and Tess telling Ellie that they're shitty,
that they're not
people.
good people,
and they're not. Like, what made them go from point A to this is probably point D. They've gone through a bunch of shit. But like,
see, that's so interesting.
I was just gonna say, I'm glad you said that because I like the format of the flashback, having the episode do kind of like a flashback and then do the main timeline, the main storyline, and do another, or go to the flashback or whatever, like the first two episodes.
And then we'll tie it in at the end of the episode.
Exactly. So we're kind of going back and forth, but it's telling a story that you see what's going on now, but you see what happened before, and it all ties in and makes sense to what's going on in the current.
But that's what's so cool about adaptation is that Craig Mazin was asking himself the same exact questions you're asking, Graham, which is, what happened to Joel from point A to point B? What happened to Joel after we see him in the prologue of the game to when we first see him, prior to meeting Ellie? Or what happened with his relationship with Tess? How did they meet? What happened to them? How does that build? Yeah. And so Craig Mazin was asking the same exact questions. And he asked that about Bill. He's like, what happens to Bill and Frank? How did they meet? How did that shape Bill? Oh, I actually like that a lot more. And Neil Druckmann and his team at Naughty Dog didn't really explore that. I think I will. And that's what I think is so great about an adaptation is that you treat the original piece, the original work of art with respect because you like it, you're a fan of it, and you're like, but here's what I would do. These are the questions. I like this, but we could probably tweak this little aspect of it, or we could do like the spores
add this
thing.
to that.
Yeah, like the just how the virus is transmitted in the game. Having spores works, right? Because it's a video game and it's linear
and shit.
And it's linear, and you can't it makes sense from a video game perspective to have certain areas of the game, filled with spores and that's how it transmits. But Craig Mazin was right. In the real world, that wouldn't make sense because it was transmitted by spores. Everybody would be infected because the spore would just spread everywhere and you'd be screwed. So that little things like that, from little things like spores to tendrils to big things like exploring Bill and Frank's relationship, they've just made really good decisions along the way, very smart decisions, and then delivered on those decisions in a very good way. And man, I don't know, man, they're just so competent, and everyone knows what they're doing, and everyone is on board, and they're just firing on all cylinders, and it's working, man. It's just a great show from top to bottom.
And that's why the show has been renewed for a second season. It's that good that we're not even done with season one. They're like, bro, green light that. We need more of that. It's already so well done. And I don't know if they probably listen to when we talk on this podcast, but I need DC, I need Marvel, I need everybody to pay attention to what I'm about to say.
Disney,
all y'all, they need to pay attention to what we're talking about today. The Last of Us has set a very, very good bar, a good precedent.
It's the bar now.
These episodes are very well done, very well told. We're not rushing through material. We're not, having crap acting. We're not having crap script writing. This is just something that's done very well. Every other company needs to look at what HBO is doing with The Last of Us and try and adapt that strategy to their IPs, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm sick of seeing shit get wasted. I'm sick of seeing
The Witcher,
good
IPs
good content,
being
good
wasted.
stories get wasted. Good material getting wasted because companies just choose not to do the right thing. Hire good script writers, hire good storyboard people, good producers, all that, good actors, all the stuff that makes a show or a movie good. Or presentation if you're Marvel, a good special presentation, show, TV, movie, whatever, what have you.
But I think they
don't do that.
That's such a hard balance to strike, because what most people do is, well, they're like, well, hire somebody who's passionate about the source material, and then they get so hyper focused on pleasing the fans and pleasing like their inner child, right? That was a fan of said property, that they get so lost in the sauce that they end up not making something that's good because it gets so
Kevin Smith with He-Man. Which I love Kevin Smith, but that's just an example.
Of course, of course, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. It's such a hard balance to strike that you find somebody who's passionate about the original source material, but is willing and capable of making adapting. Of making the necessary decisions to make a proper adaptation. And actually, that brings about a question that I wanted to ask you guys: is that, since we have seen that video game adaptations can be done well and constantly, right? In a perfect ideal world, right, where you have the right cast, the right production team, the right writers and directors, what top 3 video game franchises that you guys would like to see adapted? Now, let's not take into consideration. Like what company's making it. Like, it doesn't matter if it's HBO, Netflix, but that doesn't
competent.
Just they have the right team. They have the
and
right
it would
team.
Be like how this is.
Yeah,
not necessarily a straight up game to screen adaptation. Needs liberties, and you do that in a great way.
Yeah. Just someone who will adapt it well. Like, we're just in a perfect world that it's with the perfect company, with the perfect team behind it. Just in your ideal world, will be the top 3.
I'm gonna let y'all cook, and then I
want to let you cook, because I feel like
Graham, you got a lot of good.
Good.
Not to dive too far into our behind the scenes stuff, but Graham does bring up a lot of great, ideas and topics that we talk about so much that we never get to write everything down. So we try and talk about whenever our topic is, we try and dive deeper into it. Graham be cooking. The Marvel episode that we dropped a few weeks ago, Graham was cooking. Graham was in that. The kitchen.
One we will be dropping in a week.
And then the upcoming Marvel episode that's coming up soon. Stay tuned. So Graham, go ahead and do your thing.
I would say the number one, and I can't even delve into this because I feel like I could make a fucking episode just off this one. But it's the one me and Gerardo talked about.
Yes.
Red Dead Redemption.
Yes.
Red Dead Redemption, or not just Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption 1, Red Dead Redemption 2.
The Red Dead universe,
make a Red Dead universe. You start off with Butch, and Red Dead would fucking be it. And then, hey, you know what's crazy? Make a side series where it's the Undead Nightmare, where they do the zombie DLC.
Dude, that would be too perfect. But again,
that would be what we're talking though.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
In the perfect world. Yeah. So I'll say Red Dead is number 1.
You have a season of Red Dead, and then during award
spin-off season.
Yeah, you have a 3-episode, Euphoria did those 2 special episodes with Zendaya and Hunter
type
Schafer's
shit like
episodes.
That with Undead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have 3 episodes of Undead Nightmare.
Or hey, you have 2 episodes of maybe you following John Marston when he was really young after Butch adopts him. You've got Butch adopting everyone into the gang, and then you've got a season with them doing that. Then you have maybe let's say the second season is basically Red Dead Redemption 2 with Arthur Morgan. He's pretty old, and
I think that's a universe that's ripe for adaptation.
Dude, they're asking for it. They're asking for it, and the people voicing them are almost use their facial shit. The guy who voiced Arthur Morgan looks Arthur
a lot
Morgan. And he's and the guy who did John Marston in the first Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, he is John Marston. And
that would be a really and I say this with don't like when I say this, I mean this in like not a derogatory sense. It would seem like an easy thing to adapt, right? Like because like westerns are, I would say, pretty popular still to this day, and they've been a staple of Hollywood
they always will
since the beginning of time, right? Like westerns have always been a thing, and so I feel like that's something, and that's a genre that people crave is westerns. So now here you have a western based on IP. That is, we all know Rockstar, and we know they're amazing at telling stories, who already has a fantastic story, it has a huge fan base, and has a great universe ripe for, like you said, picking and just adapting.
The Red Dead 2 was a phenomenon. When they came out, even people that didn't play the first Red Dead Redemption were like, we're playing, we're going to pick this up. People,
it's a goated series.
They're like, this is just a story. It's just the story, too. Like, fuck yeah, it's a great game. But the story in both of them, like Red Dead Redemption 2, it's one of the best stories I think I've ever...
Of all time?
To me, I mean, that I've ever experienced.
Yeah, I agree.
Any kind of form of medium.
Okay, that's your number one pick, right?
Yeah, and like I could keep going on that shit. It's
Matt, what's one of your picks?
Ooh, so this is tough because a lot of some of the ones I wanted to say, I just started thinking through different games. That's why I was doing that though. My mind, if you saw my face, I was thinking too hard. My eyes glazed over. I was like, bro, what games are games I want to see made into real shows? A lot of them are already being made into shows. So I'm kind of like, what do I pick?
Oh shit, God of War and stuff.
God of War is definitely one for sure, but they're already making God of War. That was one of mine,
but I'm gonna take that out.
Okay, well, exactly. We can use this to talk about that. Then we can touch. I
mean, it's very simple. You already have multiple games. Same concept as The Last of Us. Make each game like kind of like one season.
One season.
Like each game is its own thing. Start with season one being the first. Very straightforward. First season be the first.
When
God
he kills
of War
his
game.
family.
But doesn't that kind of complicate things, considering that they have rebooted the entire series?
Like, I think that would make it
used to be. It was about
though.
Greek gods, and right now this reboot is about Norse gods. But it's kind of like also like a sequel / reboot because everything you did about the Greek gods still counts.
Here's the thing that they could do, and it's kind of like the way they're doing The Last of Us. They could make it to where each season, once he completes the missions and the task or whatever of that season, in that game, then the next season is kind of like, oh, I did this, but it bled into this next crisis I got to deal with. I killed all the gods of this pantheon. Now I'm gonna kill the gods of this pantheon. I'm gonna kill the gods of this pantheon. I'm gonna kill the gods of this pantheon.
I do,
kind of just move from mythology to mythology. It's it's like you said with Red Dead.
I mean, he has only been with two mythologies, but the first mythology, it did take 3 games.
Yeah.
I mean, so much shit happens.
Plus a PSP game. And a
PS
Vita
game. A couple of them,
Mm-hmm.
which low-key, I can't remember which one was on which, but one of them is actually like really goated.
And if you think about
it,
with the Percy Jackson series coming out,
could be amazing though.
Exactly, and now that plus with the Percy Jackson series coming out, everyone's gonna be on the Greek god kick right now. You know what I'm saying?
Shit. I missed that era.
So might as well sprinkle a little.
Give us some like Clash of the Titans kind of shit and God of War.
Yes.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think what I would do.
I miss that era of movies.
I think what I would do is I would take the current where the God of War franchise is right now, the current storyline, the Sony Santa Monica one. Yeah, and we can have flashback, but I would take. I just think that the storytelling is a little bit better. I think Sony Santa Monica did a really good job with the first God of War. I haven't played Ragnarok yet, and I'll get to it. But I just think it lends itself better to TV adaptation than. I'm not saying you couldn't do it with the original games. You could.
Well,
like I said, I think
you have a good point. That's a great point because then if it works, then you have a sideshow or a movie of the mythology of the Greek shit.
Exactly.
When like a movie or a special episode where he gets his powers from Ares and he kills his wife, kills his daughter.
Yeah.
And then he's
or you can end the show. You can bleed that in and have flashbacks as to what happened.
I think flashbacks would be sick. Actually, yeah. So, that's a great point.
And who's making that? Is it Amazon?
I think it's Amazon. I mean, they're trying to pick it. That's the problem.
No, you gotta think about the boys. You gotta think about the boys.
Okay, but you gotta look at Lord of the Rings.
But the boys. But here's the thing. I was gonna say look at Lord of the Rings, but here's the thing. The Boys was not a very popular comic book run
until now.
Was it?
Sure, but when it But like, you're not going to have people being like, "Oh, this isn't a faithful The Boys adaptation," because who the fuck read The Boys? You know, like in the general population. Exactly. And when I know there are fans, so The Boys fans don't come after me. It's, you know, comparatively, the God of War fans
are get us canceled.
Is a much larger. I know is a much larger percentage.
It's a
right?
point, though.
Yeah. You know, there's a much larger percentage of the populace that played God of War than people who read The Boys, right? So and you're going to get a lot more backlash if you do it bad or if you
like
mess it up.
What they did with Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And having money doesn't equate to making something good, i.e. Rings of Power.
Lord of the Rings.
And
when they have Invincible, they have The Boys, and they have that Legend of Vox Machina show, which I've been talking about on Twitter.
I heard that song gas. I heard that's that gas.
You love that show. Graham's the biggest proponent.
I am. It's the same people who did Critical Role, which is what it's based off of. So it's like Amazon knows what it's doing on the shit that's really good. They know what they're doing, but like Rings of Power is just that kind of, I don't know, that MacGuffin that is just.
It's just hard. It's hard to tell a story when you know where it's going to end, right?
Yes.
You already have the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So you already know what happens. So it's
the thing with the God of War, though, we don't really know where it ends, and you can fit so much in the time span of make a show that's between God of War 3 and the reboot. Like maybe that's the show.
There's a lot you could do.
It's popular.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a lot of
stories from a character that you get 3 lines about him being gay or whatever, and then you expand on it and make one of the best pieces of television in history.
Of all time, yeah.
Yeah, like in history. So, Luis, what would be your game, your top one? I've got another one, and we'll talk about it.
I just want a good Doom adaptation.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes.
With the fucking heavy metal soundtrack, too?
Exactly.
A good one?
Yeah. My brother's going to give me shit because he loves the new Doom games, and I haven't played them, but I have watched him play it, and so I know of them and I know about them, and I'm a big fan of the old Doom games. Doom 3 is one of my favorite Doom games. Yeah. I used to play that every day before school in the mornings, and it was terrifying. And it was scared the living shit out of me. But and I am a big Doom movie fan. The movie with The Rock and Carl Urban.
Oh my God!
Oh, Carl Urban. Yeah.
I know it sucks.
Billy
I know
Butcher.
it's dog shit, but I love it. I was young when that movie came out. And I was like, this is fucking awesome.
This is it.
Yeah, exactly. But I do want an actual adaptation where where he is in hell, not in Mars.
Mm-hmm.
He opens the gates of hell, and Doom guy's just unstoppable and unbeatable. And the music, I feel like if they do a good Doom adaptation, you would have to have a good composer and
Michael Giacchino.
Yeah, or the guy who made the actual music for the Doom game.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, why not?
But I mean, and I just think that would be super cool. I think
I agree.
A Doom game with the amount of violence and gore and the music that the reboot has, I think. You're
talking about Mick Gordon, right? For the soundtrack.
Yeah.
He's like
I just think that would be sick. I think if done well, that would be so much fun, man. Because that's what the game is. It's just high octane. Fun, first person.
I feel like the budget would be low too. Like it wouldn't cost that much. I don't think to.
I think he doesn't have to worry about VFX.
I think he would just make
That'd
money.
Be the most of your budget, anyways. Yeah. I mean, you got your actors and everything, but majority of stuff.
Actors, but who do you got? Just someone to play the Doom guy. That's it.
And then like
a bunch
voice
of
actors
in prosthetics playing all the demons.
Exactly. But I mean, otherwise it's going to be VFX for the most part.
Yeah.
And
I feel like that might be a little bit more difficult to adapt because of the story or whatever. But
are they going to do like Christopher Nolan and put somebody in a freaking furnace and have him run around or some shit?
He's actually going to send someone to hell. Actually film from hell. Yeah.
Christopher's going to be
like, you see Ronald Reagan, you see Richard Nixon, they're all hanging out together.
He's going to be in the interview with like Hollywood Reporter or Variety or something. And we actually killed this guy, sent him to hell. Had him shoot the scenes, and we brought him back.
Isn't he British? We built a portal to hell. And we sent an actor down there.
To hell.
Yeah. One of the most rewarding experiences of my life as a filmmaker.
Great.
But yeah, no, I think Doom would be pretty cool. Pretty neat.
I
agree. I definitely
Should we give
agree.
one more game thing? Because I mean,
Let's do
Let's do
one more solid
Yeah.
quick, and if you have like any honorable mention, just list them off real quick. So Graham, what's your?
I'm gonna say one honorable mention would be a good Assassin's Creed.
Oh God,
A good
please!
one.
It's
Like, a good
so
one.
easy to do
It's
well.
it's
literally-
easy. It's easy. It makes all the sense.
Come
And
on.
there's bro, you don't have to do anything based off the video games. I would love for a Ezio or a Connor Kenway one.
You know what I was thinking. The perfect.
Specifically-
You know what I think the perfect adaptation would be. Get rid of all the modern day Desmond shit. I don't give a
Yes,
fuck about
for
that.
sure.
And just give me
Absolutely.
a show set in
Ezio.
Egypt or a show set in
Altair.
Italy.
Altair.
About it. Just give me a season about that. Ignore all the modern day bullshit and just tell me a story about the
Yeah.
assassins versus Templars.
I think-
and that fucks. That's it. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Or
that
better,
would-
I'm
Get
gonna add to
Ezio
that.
and
I'm gonna add to
Altair
that.
starting it.
I'm gonna add to what you just said. Have the show be the entire show be telling whatever assassin having tell their story, and if they like get to the point of almost dying at the end of the episode, have it black, and then it start like the end of the episode wakes up in modern time and kind of like a cliffhanger, but it doesn't go into any of that shit. You don't need it.
Right.
You don't need to
Oh,
dive into it. You know what I'm saying?
yo, okay. And
Bro,
then you have,
let
and
me
then it's a
cook.
different person because of the subjects.
Yeah.
Because how
Exactly.
each like subject is a different DNA.
Yeah.
But okay,
Exactly.
so check this out. What if season 1 is Altair, like, or even Bayek, I guess, because he's the one that started.
They
Get a
could do it in
Bayek
timeline
one.
order.
So doing like an anthological show, I guess,
Yeah.
where each
Yeah.
season, and then
Is a different
at the
assassin.
end of each episode,
Bro,
instead
put
of
us in the
doing
writers' room right now. What are we
Yeah,
doing?
instead of doing the modern day shit, you still have that like the Isu connection, or like from the previous people. Like Minerva comes down and she's like, she makes like maybe Bayek talk to Altair, and then Altair, you know, you go through
That could-
Altair's
but you-
story.
yeah, that's
and then
perfect, 'cause you could leave that shit-
Ezio's. Like, you know how Ezio's story ends in Revelations, where he finds Altair and Masaev? Holy like, you give Altair's story, and then you give Ezio's story, and then at the end, you basically do that, where it's
You tie it all
them two working
together.
together.
Yeah.
Ezio's reliving Altair's thing, and that's how you get the whole memory shit. I don't know. Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed is like the perfect. And I know they tried it, but it's like
And they
Oh,
failed.
but they didn't do
Yeah,
good.
I know
And
they failed, but it's
They had,
perfect.
and they had a great actor for it too, and they butchered
Fucking
it.
Michael Fassbender.
Mistake,
Amazing.
bro.
And they put it in
Mistake.
Spanish or was it in the Spanish Inquisition?
It was during the
Or
Spanish
like-
Inquisitions.
Mhm.
They had a
Dude,
good
that's
filmmaker
perfect.
making it too.
That's like I think it was, dude, they had some studio.
Justin
interference in
Kurtzell
it.
directed that movie, and
Yes,
his adaptation of Macbeth is phenomenal.
Oh,
and
with
it's
Michael Fassbender.
yeah, and with Michael Fassbender, it's one of
amazing.
my favorite movies of the past 10 years. It's beautiful. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But Assassin's Creed is such a like. It's perfect for like a movie.
Dude, it's a
or
it's like
TV
a
show.
treasure
And they
story almost.
How hard is it? It's really hard to fuck that up, and
Because
they
everyone-
fucked it
They
up.
fucked
It's so
horribly. Not
crazy.
just like it was horrendously fucked up. Everyone wants to put their own spin on shit, and I get that. You got the last
Don't
of us.
do
He
it.
was doing it perfectly. Like on that, you just can't get. You can't. I don't know. Let yourself get out of hand.
But it probably
You gotta
came from the
keep it
fact
to
that
the-
they probably didn't respect the source material. enough,
None.
right?
It
And
was-
they probably
it was
weren't
just-
fans of the source
It's
material.
it was probably a Sony film. I wonder who or Lionsgate or some horrible production company
That's
making
good,
that.
though.
I don't
Assassin's-
even know.
Oh,
Assassin's
it
Creed
was
is perfect.
But
New Regency, and
Didn't they
20th
go
Century
bankrupt?
Fox. I think they did.
probably. They think
Didn't
they
they go
did. Yeah, because
bankrupt?
Fox got bought
and
out.
Fox got bought out. So
Yeah. Yeah, well, there you go,
There you
Assassin's
go.
Creed. But the
And, like,
real my real one would have been Elder Scrolls.
Ooh, yes, Skyrim.
Dude,
Bro, not even
Elden- yeah, Elder
Oblivion,
Scrolls.
Morrowind.
Mhm.
What
another
is the
perfect
second-
IP right for
Oh, just
universe
for the
For the
taking.
taking, for the taking.
And there's so many countries and continents and races, dude. Imagine a fucking Kahijit.
What do you mean by
Based
that?
off the cats.
what do you
Like,
mean?
what do you mean by that?
No, but that's perfect because it's like
Elder
people
Scrolls.
love Game of Thrones. People love sword and sandals type
Exactly.
of dramas.
That's
and
like
so
wizards and shit. A Dark Brotherhood, maybe like you do
vampires, werewolves.
So okay, so there you go. There's my not theory, like layout. You have like an Elder Scrolls Dark Brotherhood season, Elder Scrolls Thieves Guild season, Elder Scrolls like maybe Blades or
Bro,
Oblivion,
that's a show that will go on for
about
10,
Oblivion.
15 years.
It's gonna be like the Walking Dead.
Well, they need to do something because
or like Supernatural,
16
seasons or 15 seasons.
Yeah, but everyone watched all seasons of Supernatural.
Those are good. Those are good picks. Those are good picks.
Those are my picks.
What about you, Luis?
Oh, me?
Zelda.
I had another pick that just something that I'll do one and then I'll do an honorable mention, and I'll be really quick about them. One, I think that'd be pretty cool for adaptation is Dead Space.
Yeah, that's
especially because John Carpenter wants to make he said that he would like to make a Dead Space movie. Yeah, John Carpenter said he would like to make a Dead Space movie. And why the fuck have we not let this man cook? John Carpenter is one of the greatest horror filmmakers of all time, probably the best horror filmmaker of all time. And if he says he wants to make a Dead Space movie, let this man make a Dead Space movie. I do not know why we're not. And so that just got my mind racing, and I just thought that would be amazing. And John Carpenter make a Dead Space movie because he's a fan. He's a fan of the game. He likes the games. He fucks with the games. And he's a fucking fantastic filmmaker. So that's like perfect. You have a director who's a fan of the game and who's amazing.
Escape from New York in
yes, I was about to say
the thing in space, basically.
Escape from New York, Escape from LA,
Escape from New York,
Halloween. This guy's got all types of bars. He's just dropping heat. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. And Dead Space,
why have they not done that?
Dead Space is scary as fuck.
Ridiculous.
I think the story is super cool. It's self-contained enough that you can just make one movie,
right?
And if it does great, that you've got sequels to pull from. But I think that first Dead Space movie by John Carpenter would be amazing. It's scary and action-packed. It would be amazing, and I just think that would be perfect. And then an honorable mention, and it's only an honorable mention because they've already adapted and it was dog shit. But I wish they did it well. Was Uncharted. Uncharted is one of my favorite video game series of all time. I love those games. I play them all the time. I'm on like my 8th playthrough right now. It's like that.
I've never got to play them.
It's like we talked about.
That movie sucks, and
it's like we talked about in this. Awful. It's because of Mark Wahlberg, bro. It's like we said, and then he just make it in the last episode.
I feel like if it would have been anyone else, it still would have sucked. But yes, Wahlberg is trash.
Just those games, and you don't even have to base it on the games itself. Like you could just pick any ancient like mythological artifact in history or whatever, and just like how Indiana Jones does. Like they have
Uncharted in the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, like, or the you can do like
Raiders
Pandora's Box. You can do like Pandora's Box or whatever the fuck, and just base the story off of that. But if you got Naughty Dog involved, and you had like a lot of like the original creators, like those would just be amazing, funny, action-packed movies, and it's just like that's a blockbuster franchise waiting to happen, like done well. And I'm just really upset that they fucked that up. But yeah, that's my pick and my honorable mention.
Yeah, that would have worked better as a series too.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about in the first episode of the Last of Us episode. That should have been a series, would have worked a lot better. So I agree. I 100% agree, man. I'm not
getting Mark Wahlberg or a dog shit ass director.
Dude, yeah, just don't get Mark Wahlberg. That's all you gotta do.
Or Tom Holland, to be honest. Exactly.
He's stuck in his Spider-Man bag. He all the other movies you talk about, Cherry, all that other stuff. I mean, bro, come on, Peter.
Devil All the Time.
Peter Parker.
Yeah, it's Chaos Walking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just him playing Peter Parker in another movie.
Oh man.
What you meant? Your last pick.
So my honorable mentions, I'm having a hard time deciding on my exact pick. So I'm going to go ahead.
Sly Cooper.
That was, you know what I'm saying? They're going to make a movie. They're going to make another movie. Am I a Crash Bandicoot movie? No, I'm playing.
There's going to be a Crash Bandicoot movie?
No, there was supposed to be a Sly Cooper movie years ago, but it got like canned very fast.
That would have been cool. An animated Sly Cooper movie would have been
I don't mind. Yeah, like if it's animated, it'll be cool. If it's real life, I'll be like, what are you doing? So,
Jack and Daxter would be kind of dope too.
Ooh.
Wait, isn't there an animated Jack and Daxter?
Ooh, is
I
there?
have no clue. No.
If there is, I'm watching it tonight.
I don't remember. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping.
Bro, Jack 2 was one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, I remember.
I
that.
think
PS2.
Let's
Jack
see.
3 is the go-to.
So I'm narrowing down. Oh man, they already announced a film adaptation. I'm gonna can that one then. I was
Of
gonna say
what?
an honorable mention was gonna be Ghost of Tsushima because I love Japanese
Oh,
anything Japanese related.
Tsushima would be sick.
That was gonna be my
yeah.
honorable mention. One of my honorable mentions.
Did y'all ever play Sekiro? Sekiro?
No, Sekiro, I don't like Soulsborne games. They're too hard.
Sekiro, that's my favorite Soulsborne game. I played Elden Ring.
I'm
Elden
too
Ring would be
casual,
cool,
bro.
but
I'm too
And then-
casual for that shit, bro.
they're a waste of time, honestly. But
They're
And then
hard
my-
as fuck in that.
It's funny
Yeah.
you guys say Soulsborne. Those are gonna be my other honorable mentions. I want to see Dark Souls type games. And
That would
I think
be,
it would
that
be
would-
cool.
that'd be
I think
sick.
it would
Wasn't
be
there a
cool.
rumor that there was going to
I
be a
think
Dark
there
Souls
was.
movie?
I think there was
Dark
gonna be a
Souls
movie or a show. I'm pretty sure.
I've heard
I
that
could be
before.
wrong though. I could be very wrong. But yeah, that would have been my honorable mention. But my actual pick, and Graham is gonna love this one because we talked about this a while back. Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh,
show.
come on.
Because hear me out. Let me
Dude, I
cook.
can't even.
Let
No,
me
that's
cook.
a classic, of course.
Let me
They're
cook.
never going to do it.
Exactly
But-
why I said that's my number one choice.
Yeah,
My agenda starts today. My agenda starts today.
Bro,
Whenever the
yo,
acolyte drops, I'm in this hole. I am cooking. I am talking about it.
People think that the Last of Us fandom is toxic for bitching about like the Last of Us adaptation. If the Knights of the Old Republic ever gets
Oh
made,
my god.
that
Oh my
fandom
God.
will not
Dude,
shut the
it would-
fuck
yeah.
up. They will complain about every casting, every
Yeah.
creative and adaptive choice, the people
Everything.
making the show,
Everything.
You will not shut
Other
them
than the
up.
casting, I would be pretty fucking nitpicky on that story because
And this
you
would
don't
be
change that story.
Yeah, I
would be my
know. That's what I'm
reaction. This would
saying.
be-
Yeah.
So that's
this would
why
be
it'll
my
never
reaction
happen.
the whole time. Every time people are gonna be talking like complaining and crying and talking shit, I'll be
Shut up, bitch!
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that would be. I do not wish
it's a
that
hard
on anybody.
it's a hard
thing
one to pick up because I mean you have to
because
do
it's
it
so
right.
loved. Yeah, and it's so
It's
I've
like-
loved.
it's
dreamed
like
of
casting-
that. I've dreamed of a show or a movie, Knights of the Republic, since I was like 5.
like
6.
casting-
Like, it was
I said,
ridiculous.
ever since I was a little boy.
My
Ever
whole
since I was
life.
a little
My
child,
whole
I was
life.
born in the dark.
Yeah.
Oh, and then another honorable mention is Halo, but I'm pretty sure there's a show for that right now, isn't there?
There's
on
a show
Paramount?
on Showtime.
No,
It's
there
Halo.
is no show for Halo.
Well, it's on Paramount Plus.
It's
Yeah.
non-existent. We do not fuck. It is non-existent.
Did you watch it, Graham? Did you watch it?
dude? We'll just not talk about it.
Wow, I heard it's
Dude,
bad.
it's
I heard it's bad.
Fuck. I'm not gonna say anything
I heard it's
else.
bad.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I
gonna
heard
say
it's bad.
anything. It is.
Dookie.
Yeah, I heard it's
It is
trash.
fucking awful.
The show that shall not be
It's-
named. Show that should
What
not.
Yeah.
if one of us was like, they should adapt Call of Duty into a movie?
God,
Bro,
yeah,
You can
yeah,
literally
Call
watch
of Duty,
any military. Bro,
Black
watch
Ops.
Top Gun.
Well, Call of Duty
No
would be a
shit.
cool
Yeah.
series.
Watch
bro.
Actually,
Saving
you know what?
Private Ryan, and you're watching World at War.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No,
basically.
but see, the thing that people.
World at War was so good, bro.
World at
People-
War is that's
I will say a Black Ops movie would go crazy and a Modern Warfare
The
movie
first
would go
one.
crazy. Yeah. I
With-
want to see.
Modern
I
Warfare,
wanna see-
the
okay,
reboot or
okay.
the old one?
That's
the old
you know
one,
what? The
like
old
with
one.
NW2 with like Ghost
Oh,
Shepherd.
so we can get an
and-
old, so we can get a no Russian level, a no Russian
Yeah. Yes.
live action
Yeah.
adaptation.
No, and the
Holy
one
shit.
there's like that's like episode 4, and it's just titled No Russian. And
Fucking, bro, I'd lose my shit. I'd be like,
Bro.
let's go.
Let's go. Yeah,
I'll be
We're
standing
gonna
up.
watch
I'll
this
be
shit.
standing
No.
up.
That would never. They would never.
They couldn't.
make that. They
It
would
blows
not.
my mind that
They
that
would not make
even
that.
happened. Like
I
thinking
know,
back
bro.
on that shit.
Yeah, but
Oh
look,
my
think about when
goodness.
that came out, dude. That
Definitely,
like,
absolutely.
come on,
but
Matt-
still,
If you make
holy
it
shit.
now, we would be instant World War III. We're done.
oh
No,
It's
that's not getting greenlit.
It's not.
The
Yeah,
producers is like, we're not
not.
making this episode. What the
they're
fuck is wrong?
firing.
It's a
the
national
guy who
security
put
issue.
They're like
that
a
up in the
mass,
writers'
an episode
room?
about mass
It's done.
shooting at an
It's a-
airport.
it's a-
You've lost
yeah.
your fucking mind. Absolutely not.
See ya. You're not welcome back.
No way.
It can never
That's
happen.
not that's not happening.
I do want to see a live action Ghost so he can do that meme with the little.
he's just oh shit!
That's all the show
funny.
is. That's literally all the show. The little,
good.
the little music in the background. He's just
Captain Price. I do want to see Captain Price live action. I will say that.
But you know that you said Black Ops 1. That would be a fantastic show because I mean, bro, that's one of my favorite Call of Duty. Yeah.
But people are gonna get on us so fast because we just named like the most like Chad fucking basic ass video game, bro.
I don't. And you know what?
You know what?
This is my reaction. This is my statement to them. They can. Oh, it didn't even work. I think I broke the soundboard. Oh my god.
Nice. Do it for us.
Shut up, bitch.
There you go.
Hey, thank you, Graham.
Thank you, Graham. There you go.
I broke the soundboard. No.
Nah, but for real though, The Last of Us has set a bar that it's not like it is the bar now.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
It's at the point where do not touch a video game IP if it is not going to be like this.
Yeah.
The Mario movie that's about to come out.
Oh, I was about to mention that.
Okay, so you know what? I'm still
Don't
hyped.
be a
as fuck
banger.
for it.
I'm hyped.
But when I heard
Save
Seth
for
Rogen
Chris-
as Donkey
Chris Pratt.
Kong, I threw my headphones again.
Graham said.
That's two actors that should not be casted in that movie.
Graham, I literally tweeted this and my tweet kind of blew up. I tweeted, "Why can't y'all cast voice actors? God damn it!"
It's so simple.
I retweeted it,
bro. That's
Why?
not Donkey Kong.
Why?
That's Seth Rogen, bro. Like that's
and that's not
Hey,
Mario. That is Chris Pratt.
Let's take the over under
so
on Seth Rogen doing his little laugh in this movie.
He did it in the clip.
He did, yeah.
The clip.
Oh, he said, "Oh, you got the cat one."
That's literally what he did, bro.
Bro, that's literally why they hired him. They were like, "Dude, you sound like you would laugh like a fucking
bro,
ape." I guess
it's so bad.
You know, you're hired.
I think Mario.
Pull the plug.
The Super Mario Bros. Movie is going to go down in history for being the most visually stunning, probably good adaptation of a video game that has the worst voice acting of all time. Because even Anya Taylor-Joy in the trailer, she's phoning it in. She's phoning it in. She's like,
she's just in there reading to the mic. She's just reading the lines into the mic.
The only person who might give a shit is Charlie Day.
and Jack Black.
Oh shit, Jack Black. Yeah.
Whoever's playing Toad.
Those
too.
are two.
Keegan Michael Key. He's kind of cool.
I didn't know that. Okay, I didn't know that.
But see,
he is perfect.
Keegan is funny. Keegan's an actually funny guy.
So is Charlie Day.
That fits
Chris
Toad.
Pratt.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Get him out of here.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's man.
That's so
I'm excited for it though. I really do hope that, like, not to go on another game tangent, but a Zelda movie in that kind of style would be it.
I fixed it.
Graham, I promise you that if the Super Mario Bros. Movie does well, not only is it going to get a sequel, but they're going to announce a Zelda movie as well.
And then I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to take it a step further. They're going to make a Metroid.
A Super Smash Bros. universe.
They're going to make a Metroid
make a Donkey
movie.
Kong Country.
No, Metroid
Prime?
They're going to make a Metroid movie. Then they're going to be like, you know what? Why don't we make the Super Mario Bros. Universe, the SMBCU. The Smash Bros. The SMBCU.
Smash Bros. That would be SB.
No, I said the Super Mario Bros. But let's do Smash
Super
Bros.
Yeah.
Or even better, the Nintendo Cinematic. That's even easier.
NCU.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. They're gonna make it. Look,
I'm in. A Zelda, Mario, Donkey Kong series.
But think about
Star
that.
Fox.
Then I was gonna say, then they're going to have to make a Star Fox movie, a Persona movie, a fucking
Pikmin.
the video game series NES is
Pikmin.
from.
I was just about to say Pikmin.
What's the video game?
The little kids.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's slipping my mind.
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh my god.
It's from like an N64 game. Shit.
Sorry, fans.
Earthbound.
Earthbound.
Yep.
yeah.
So that just gets really convoluted and complicated. So
Yeah,
and,
but I
and
mean,
I don't know if they
feel
own the
like it
rights
would
to all
be-
of those games either.
Probably
so.
not. But I feel like it could be like a big three, like with DC, Batman.
Well, if it's a
Wonder Woman,
Nintendo
Superman,
game, then they do,
Mario,
right?
Zelda, Donkey Kong.
No, because they have characters like Cloud from Final Fantasy, and
Oh,
that's
yeah,
not a
yeah,
Nintendo
Yeah,
property. I don't think.
yeah.
They have
True.
characters from other video games, from Pokemon.
Final
Yeah,
Fantasy,
Lucario.
they got a. Oh, you said Final
Yeah, I
Fantasy.
said Final Fantasy,
Yeah,
Pokemon. So they have multiple properties that they're not owners of.
Hey, I just need an F-Zero
Sonic,
film. That's all I need with Captain Falcon. Show me
Yo,
your moves.
yeah.
I need
And get the Wachowskis to direct it. Basically,
make it Speed Racer.
a Speed
Make it like
Racer.
Speed Racer. I need that.
Ooh.
Bro, why we cooking right now?
Yo, we cooking, bro. Damn, this would be fire.
Right.
Speed Racer's an incredibly underrated movie.
So whenever Captain
that-
Falcon
when
and
it came
F-Zero
out, that
gets
shit was
made,
great.
you heard it here first on the podcast. So we started.
Yeah.
We're claiming the rights of this.
Yeah.
We're gonna be 80
Yeah.
years old by the time that shit
shit.
ever gets made.
Oh my god.
Still making this podcast though.
Oh
Yep.
my goodness. We will still be making this podcast until the end of time. I don't care.
Shout out Last of Us, though.
I'd be gray haired to be making this. So
But
I think
yeah,
that's a good point to end the episode. But before we close out, there is one thing I did want to say. In light of this episode being The Last of Us, I just did want to take a second to honor actress Annie Wershing, who was the original voice actor for Tess. She passed away recently, and it's really tragic, especially with the show going on and everyone's so hyped about it. Just knowing someone that was involved in the original material passed away is pretty sad. So we'd like to, on behalf of the team, we'd like to wish our respects and comfort for the family. There is a GoFundMe set up. We tweeted the link. It's on our page at the Podtastic 4. But if you'd like to go donate to that is up there. But yeah, just send your love and support to Annie's family, to everyone at Naughty Dog, everyone involved with the OG games, with the current show. But yeah, just make sure not to be sad or sappy, but tell somebody you love that you love them. You never know.
yeah.
But otherwise, that pretty much wraps up our episode for today. We appreciate you guys watching or listening to our channel. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at the Podtastic 4 with the number 4, so you can stay tuned to everything coming up this year. Hulk smash the MF like button. Hulk smash the subscribe button. Show us how much you enjoyed this episode by leaving us a 5-star review. Yes, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wherever you listen to this podcast, send it to your friends, family, your dog, your coworkers, your mom, your dad, all that. Everybody. Send it to Mario. Send it to Luigi. Send it to Chris Pratt. James Gunn, everybody. With that being said, Kevin Feige, Amazon, all that. But with that being said, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time on the Podtastic 4.
Yeah.